Welcome to Guns, Gary and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I am Gary Gunderson. So let's say you have an NFA item like an SBR and want to travel with said item across state lines, permanently in a move or temporarily. Well, you may not be aware, but doing this requires paperwork to stay legal and not wind up in a dark, dank cell for gun crime. The first step is to check the local state laws first and any places you are traveling through, as some are more restrictive than others. Even though they are federally legal, they may be highly restricted on the state level, for instance, requiring an FFL 03 or Curio and Relic license, or taking the time to get a special reenactor card and be a reenactor. Each state can be different, so keep that in mind for your travel plans. Now for the ATF form itself, you are looking for Form 5320.20, which can be found on atf.gov, the link which I have handily included in the description of this video and you can see here. So here's the form. It's actually relatively simple as far as bureaucratic nonsense goes. So fill out your name and address, then you select however you had the item put into NFA. So if you had trust, do a trust, individual, etc. Or if you're, all three. Then you have to include your telephone number, email address, and then number 2 is whether or not this is going to be traveling, which you will select yes, or if it's a permanent address change, you select no. If it is traveling, you have to select the dates that you are away from your original location. And don't skimp here. Give yourself plenty of leeway because you can have this scheduled for up to a year in length. So technically, if you only put a few days and you end up staying longer somewhere, you would have to fill out a new form, at least legally speaking. So give yourself all the leeway you could possibly want. Then you fill out the type of firearm and NFA item that you are moving or taking along with you. Obviously caliber, model, etc., etc., etc. 5 is only if you are going to need this mailed back from you. If you mailed this in physically, going to a different location. Reason for transportation of firearms can be anything. It could be reenacting, visiting, mag dumping into trash. Then you have to include the address from and to, so they know where they can find you, and mode of transportation if you are having it shipped. Now, I don't know if you actually need to put horse and buggy if you're going horse and buggy or car by car, but this is primarily for the actual carriers if you're shipping it separately. 10 to 12 is only if you are exporting this out of the country temporarily, which is something you can do, and then you sign and date. The rest of the form is going to be filled out by the ATF agents, and as you can see, they have an approved and disapproved section. So they should have reasonings if it is disapproved so that you can resubmit, which means you should definitely fill this out with plenty of lead time so that they can get this back to you. And then also if you need to resubmit because either you made a mistake or they're being weirdly picky about something, you have a chance to do that ahead of time. The second page or back of the form includes some further instructions, including that you need to submit 2 copies if you mail the form in, which would need addressed to National Firearms Act Branch, Directo Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, 244 Needy Road, Martinsburg, West Virginia, 25405. Or if you are, in the modern age and want your paperwork back at least a little bit faster, just email the form to nfafax@atf.gov, which means, yes, if you have a wild hair, you can also fax it to the NFA branch at 304-616-4501. And listen, before I get all the comments about do not comply and all this stuff, Should we have to do this? No, absolutely not. This is dumb. It's insane, especially for something that's already registered, but it is currently the law, and some of us, don't want to be in jail. Thankfully, as far as government forms go, like I said, this is rather straightforward. So that's it. Fill out the form, and you should be good to go as long as you didn't make any mistakes and aren't on, special lists. Please let me know if you have had any issues with the form or have your own tips about filling it out in the comments down below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for further content, and thanks for watching.